Hey guys, American Trucker here, coming to you from Madison, Wisconsin. I about forgot where I was there for a second. Anyways, I'm parked over here at the, I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh man, that's bright. You can't see nothing out there. Sears, and then if you go farther over there, you probably can't see it, but anyways, Planet Fitness. I'm in the Sears parking lot because, as we all know, Sears has pretty much went out of business. I don't know if there's any Sears stores left that's even open still. I think they went completely out of business. But anyways, am I going to continue working for Prime? That's the topic today. It's up in the air. Everything I said about Prime up to this point, as far as being a good company, I stand by it. It's not so much am I going to continue working for Prime, is the question is, do I want to continue over the road trucking in the lease program? So what I'm getting at is, I originally joined Prime for a couple of different reasons. One, I knew they were a good company to go to, good training and a good staffing. They're actually a little bit better than I thought. They kind of exceeded my expectations. So I still stand by, like I said, if you want to go to a good company for your first company and you're a rookie, like I am finishing up my first year, Prime is a great company to go to get your legs underneath you and get some experience, in my opinion. So some people may say different, but most of those people who say different probably never even worked for Prime. I just heard stories about the people who couldn't hack it or couldn't handle it or didn't like it or whatever and quit, jump ship, went to another company, which is fine. You can do whatever you want. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out for them, and that's the people who usually make the loudest noise. And that's the people who usually say that, oh, this company wasn't good. It was, it's always easy to point the finger. But I've been here at Prime, and I've been, I'm being, subjective, of course, my opinion, but I've worked for the military for over 24 years, retired military, and I know a good organization when I see it. Now, are they perfect? Of course not. I mean, they're huge, right? The bigger something gets, usually the harder it is to manage and maintain and all those things. So it takes a lot of moving parts as far as an organization as big as Prime. But for a mega carrier, they have to be, I haven't worked for a different one, but I know they have to be probably in the top three. Gotta be. I mean, you're talking about Swift, Werner, JB Hunt, CR England. Again, I probably only heard stories just the same about people who didn't like those places, but and other ones. But Prime is a well-ran organization with their moments here and there. Of course, they got hiccups just like any other place, but for the most part, they've done me right in the year that I've been here. Now, I originally joined to save up some good money. I've accomplished that in the year that I've been here. In 1 year, I'm not going to go into my exact details, but in 1 year, I've spent $5,800 of the money that I made here at Prime. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm retired military, so I got rid of all my toys, and I set up my expenses and everything to be able to live off my retirement from the military. And of course, I get insurance from them since I did over 20 years, things like that. So a few things have been taken care of this year I've been out here. So it's a little bit easier for me than most people by far to save the money I've saved. I've saved every single penny but about $5,800 in 12 months. 12 months, I've put every single thing in the bank. I spent about $5,800 of that, and I have the rest of it. And that was my goal, to do that. So my other goal was, besides saving as much money as I possibly could, was to be paying on a truck. So when I originally joined Prime, I looked into the company and watched a million YouTube videos on all kinds of different companies. One of the things that attracted me to Prime was that I would have the option to lease purchase, right? Not long after I joined, they stopped the lease purchase program, so I've been leasing this entire time. I've still made a lot of money, but I've paid zero in principal toward a truck, which wasn't what I wanted to do at all, right? Now, am I blaming Prime? No. when Prime stopped their lease purchase program, you know, the 19 was going on. I guess there was a shortage in microchips, which people say there was a shortage in trucks. I don't think there was a shortage in trucks. Maybe a few parts in there, but mostly I think it was the chips, and then, you know, some things that made the final touches to put these trucks on the road. From what I know, there was yards full of trucks, thousands of trucks all over the place. They just didn't have the final touches that they needed for each truck, which people thought there was or said that there was a truck shortage. It wasn't so much the truck themselves, it was the parts to finish them off, to get them on the road, make them roadworthy. But anyways, so as far as I know, when Prime stopped their lease purchase not long after I joined, it was a business move on their part. I mean, they're in business, and they've been in business for, I think, since 1970 or somewhere around there, and they're still in business for a reason, right? They're making good business moves and, you know, smart business moves. That's what you do if you're in business. You do what's best for the business and keeps people employed if your business stays afloat, of course. So, you know, good for Prime for having to make that tough decision. I know they took in consideration when they made that decision, there was going to be people like me who was not happy at all about that. I mean, I was this close to ordering a truck, this close. I think I was less than 4 weeks away from being eligible to order my truck. And just so you know real quick, when I joined, you had a lease for 90 days, and then once you hit that 90-day mark, you could order a truck. I was just a few weeks away, and then they stopped the program because people were buying out their trucks and then taking them somewhere else, and Prime couldn't afford to lose trucks like that anymore. But anyways, that's one of the big reasons why I joined, and one of my financial principles that I try to live by as I got older and more mature in my finances, and not just buy everything that I see and, you know, spend frivolously, was to not pay stuff off for other people. So what does that mean? That means lease purchase, I would have been paying off a vehicle for myself with interest. Of course, I understand that, but I would have been making principal payments over the last year that I've been leasing. So what have I been doing? I've been leasing for the last year because they stopped the program, the lease purchase. So I've just been regular leasing. In turn, I've been paying off a truck for Prime, right? To me, that's like renting a house. You're paying off a house for someone else, renting a car, you're making a car payment, and somebody else is going to benefit from it. Renting a truck's no different, or leasing, renting, same thing. I'm making, you know, a little over $1,000 a week payments on this truck. So if you think about it, I haven't been doing it for quite 52 weeks if you include training, but let's say I've done it for 52 weeks, for an example. Well, that would be $52,000 at $1,000 a week that I could have been paying on a principal or most of it at least. You know, some of that's interest, but most of it on a principal on a truck for myself. Instead, I've paid roughly $52,000 for Prime to reap the benefits of that once this truck that I'm leasing is paid off, if it's not already. It's 2019, so it's probably already paid off. So this is probably just going in their fund for whatever they use it for. But it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. So I've heard talk that they're going to bring the program back, and if they do, I've heard rumors, again, speculation, that they will change the stipulations on how the lease program works. Now, rumors are that they may change it to where you can't buy it out for a certain amount of time, and you have to work for Prime for 3, 4, 5 years, or the truck has to stay with Prime. Or rumor is there's going to be some stipulations where you, until they get caught back up, at least, to where you can't just turn around on your 6-month mark, and if you have the money in the bank, buy it out and then take the title and then leave Prime, go somewhere else. Now they got to turn around and order a new truck. So it kind of puts them in a cycle they don't want to be in until they get good and caught up on trucks and have plenty of drivers and plenty of trucks to put the drivers in. So I am, and over the road, honestly, is getting a little bit tiring thinking about that. Thinking about I'm out here being gone, driving a lot, 7 days a week, 4 to 6 weeks at a time before I take a break. And when I take a break, it's only probably 7 days or less. So I'm out here getting it, and I really want to be paying down on a principal on a truck if I'm going to be out here spending this much time on the road. So I don't know if I'm going to do something local, buy my own truck. If I stay OTR, then there's a good chance I'll come back with Prime. But if I find somewhere that pays just as well as Prime and didn't start business a year ago, out of Chicago or some fly-by-night company like that, I'm not going to do anything like that. But if I can find a good company that pays as well as Prime and has a lease purchase program, I will definitely look into it. So if you know any places like that, leave them in the comments, and I'll definitely look into something like that. I want to pay off a truck as quick as possible. That frees up me to have more time to take time off if I want to, or I'll just be able to put more money in the bank a little bit faster once I pay off a truck and put some money aside for maintenance and all that good stuff. But anyways, or I may go local. I don't know. I'll just have to see. So what I'm coming up on here today is the 21st of September 2022. By the end of this week, I will be back in Springfield, Missouri. So this weekend, if you're in Springfield, Missouri, and you're around, I'll be around there. And if you're new, when you watch my channel, I'll try to answer any of your questions, help you out best I can, as far as leasing or company or the old lease purchase program, if they bring it back, and I'll try to put my feelers out. I'm gonna go to Success Leasing. I've already called them a couple of times over the last couple of months, and they're not gonna tell me anything any different, I don't think. But I'm just going to inquire about the lease purchase program, see if I can't get my own, put my feelers out there as far as if they're going to bring it back and if there's going to be new stipulations. If they do, I'll let you know. But anyways, I'm coming up at the end of my lease at the end of this month, at the end of September, early October. So what that means is I'm going to turn the truck in, and I'm going to take about 2 months off. So I won't have a lease payment. I'll still be employed by Prime. I'm just going to take about 2 months off. You can take up to 59 days off once you turn a truck in. I mean, you can take 59 days off any point in time if you lease. It's just, if you're still under a lease contract, you got to pay the payment during that time. So that's no fun if you're paying $1,000 a week and you're not bringing money in. But when you hit the end of your lease, that's a perfect time if you wanted to go on vacation or just do whatever. Because you can turn a truck in, not sign for a new one yet, take a month or up to 59 days off, and then before that 59 days hit, sign a new lease, and then continue on if you want to continue working with Prime and continue doing the lease program or whatever. But so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in for 59 days. I may not take that whole time off, but I'm going to use as much time as possible to get some personal things done around the house, but then also look into some other companies, local and over the road. If you guys got any kind of suggestions, please put them in the comments below, and I'll look into any company available. Like I said, my biggest thing is to continue doing over the road. If I can find a lease purchase program, or I may wait it out. I may come right back to Prime. I may not even take 2 months. I may take 1 month, think about it, and if I don't see anything promising out there, just come back and start a lease again. I could always walk away from a lease at any point in time, but I don't want to take forever to make a decision either. But I know this video is getting kind of long. If you guys got any comments, let me know what you think about Prime's lease purchase, if they're bringing it back. Another company that has a lease purchase, I like refrigerated freight, reefer. I'm not opposed to dry van. I think refrigerated freight though is maybe a little more, maybe not, I don't know the word recession proof, but if you haul food, I feel like that's probably one of the last things to, it's not a luxury item, right? People have to have food, and I feel like that's a safer, steadier year-round freight to haul. But then, maybe dry van, depending on what it is, or flatbed. There's good money in that, but really depends on, I guess, what you're hauling. And I just feel pretty safe in the food industry hauling food, because I don't see that. I see that being one of the last things to go out of, you know, cutbacks or things like that. And like I said, Prime is a pretty safe company. You're not going to make the highs of the highs on money, but you're not going to make the lows of lows. It's pretty steady. The contracts are pretty steady. It is a big organization, so it don't have that small mom and pop feel to it where everybody knows your name and all that stuff. But anyways, now I'm just rambling, I guess. Please subscribe or like this video if you want to. If not, that's fine. But at least leave me your comments on companies that you think that I should at least look into. If it's a mega carrier, I'll be honest with you, it would really have to jump out at me as far as being way better than Prime. If it's a smaller company, I have a year in experience now, so that's what I qualify for. No issues, nothing on my license, no restrictions. I can drive a manual. Of course, I've been driving automatic for the last year, but I can drive a manual. I have no restrictions for that. I got tanker endorsement. I have hazmat endorsement. I got doubles, triples, passenger. I went ahead and just took the passenger. I took almost everything you could take, just right off the bat, just so I would have it on my license, so I wouldn't be restricted to anything in case I found myself in this exact situation. So I can haul about anything. So let me know what you guys think. I think that's it. All right, guys, you know my motto: you don't quit when you're tired, you stop when you're finished. And that's my life motto. It's not my driving motto. Comments on that where people say you don't quit when you're tired, you stop when you're finished. Well, that's how you wreck, and you know, all this stuff. I'm like, that's not my driving model. That's my overall life model. I'm tired now. Tired of OTR. Tired of leasing and not lease purchasing. But I'm not quitting. I'll stop when I'm finished. But I may pivot and find something else to do. I don't know yet. But I kind of want to stay in the trucking arena. I don't have to. Like I said, I'm 24 years in the military experience, so I got a lot of leadership experience. I may get into health and fitness if for some reason I decide not to do anything in the trucking, because that's another thing that I'm really passionate about. But if you guys got any suggestions at all, please let me know. Comment below, and I'm out.